Hello, this is Myra Elaine on the Buying Space channel. I love it when people send these bags, these uh, bubble bags, because I take all the rest of the bubble mailers. This got popped a few times. Oops, sorry. Not sorry. Anyway, I wrap these up and I don't think I'll wrap it around this because I like this is so neat. And what I did was there was a sealable bag that I put a bunch of smaller pieces in. I'm still looking for someone to pass along my bubble wrap to help in shipping. But I have this beautiful paper that was sent to me by Ella. And some of the edges got torn in the unboxing. So what I'm going to do, my ring fell off. I found this and these rings in a box that I had from my old place when I moved. And it was like finding a treasure. I used to wear this combination all the time. Just about 5-6 years ago. So this is how I recycle. I get the paper that's not bent in the middle. And I cut off the edges. Past the torn pieces. Actually, these edges could be used for paper mache, although I'm not into that. But I am going to make some craft cards and the likes here soon. Okay. Neat this up a little bit over here. I don't know what I was doing over here. Why'd y'all let me do that? Now, right in the center of this is a little place that had tape attached, I guess. You can see it more on this side. And so I want this, a little piece of tape and a little extra paper here. Oh, please don't tear. Okay. There's a little place over here. You can tell that there's been a few tears here and there. But the thing is, the person that's getting the gift is most likely not going to notice that so much. So what I did was I took this item, and you have to watch my unboxing from Ella later on to find out what this is. This wonderful item that's going to be gifted to Marty. And so I'm going to use the paper to wrap this like a gift. Now, this is not the final gift wrapping, I don't think. So this is in 2 plastic bags. This is well protected from water, as it should be because it's cloth. I'd be better off if I'd have done that long ways, but I'm going to do long ways down here. When you have something to wrap that's loose like this, you almost have to put tape in the middle and on both edges. So when you do the ends, it'll hold together at that point. There's excess paper on the end of this, so you're going to end up in a triangle. And I got a little bit of overlap here, so I'm going to bend this in. And a lot of people, when they get a package, tissue paper like this, or I don't know if you call it shipping paper, is just gone. It just goes in the trash. Now I'm going to tape this triangle top and this edge with the same tape, and I'm going to do this side. It's not perfectly centered. Okay, I didn't get my tape quite on the edge. Well, this is a rounded product and it's soft, so I'm going to go ahead and put another tape there. I should have centered this better, because this edge should come up to the same length as this edge. But the point of doing this is, through the plastic, someone can see what the item is. And since we're still in September, and this is going to be a gift given at Christmas, I want to make sure that this can't be opened or seen through. So this paper is perfect to protect what is inside, so that this is not my final holiday wrapping. Now, we use a lot of wrapping and stuff during holidays. Actually, I probably could make a final wrapping with what I got here. See, I got this purple envelope that Ella sent. It's already got corners in it. We don't want the label on there, though. And the post office writes on my packages with Sharpie. Sometimes they land at places that are okay for them to land, and sometimes they don't. So I'm going to cut this to where I get the label off of it. Go a little deeper here. And the Sharpie marks. Although I have shown a recycling and reusing videos where I've left a little bit of the Sharpie mark, because it's going to be in a corner that's going to be covered up. So okay, so now we have this piece left. So I have a natural edge and corner over here. So I'm going to take this bundle and put it down in this pocket. I actually have more than enough material to cover this package. So let me see if I can get this to look neat enough to be a present covering. Maybe I should put it all the way down in this corner, and I'm actually going to need to cut off some of this excess, because you can have too much material when you're wrapping a present. And to make it neater, you cut the excess off. So I'm going to fold this over, and see, there's a mark there anyway, so that needed to go. So there's my length. I thought about putting in this middle, but I hate to waste a corner that's already been taped, because the adhesive is also an expense or concern. Now this part is open, but this will cover it. So I don't need that much over here at all. So I'm going to neat this up on the edge. Okay, I don't need to go on down the line there, because I'm going to start this. I'm going to go ahead and go to this side and cut over here. Actually, I can cut and leave this little bit of corner over here for wrapping something else. And it came up to where that other thing was cut. So here we go. It is going to be bundled a little bit. And I need to make sure that I don't get any of this underneath part sticking out. So I can just go ahead and cut that off, because it's going to be doubled here in material. Knead up this end. Oh, that ended up being a little bit too bundled on the end. With all this purple, Marty might think that this is going to be something that's rainbowed. Okay. Oh, I see what happened. Where this was sealed, that's left over. So I need to cut the top part of this off, which I got plenty of room to do that. So it's not any big deal. And cut the top off of this and get that extra strand hanging off of here. Okay. Since that side over there is was already cornered more professionally, this side's going to be just like wrapping paper coming up from the edge. I think I'll put some stickers on this. Like I'll put a sticker here and I'll put a bow on it. And I think it looks good enough. I mean, if this was the big gift, you know, I wouldn't do this. But this is one of the presents I'll probably give during the 12 days of Christmas. Because we celebrate Christmas differently. We start Christmas decorating and celebrating Christmas Eve. And Christmas Day is actually the first day of Christmas, not the 12th, is how we celebrate. And we celebrate the 12 days of Christmas when Christmas Day and Epiphany. And Epiphany is January 6th. So each day, Marty gets a present. So it's not a huge pile of gifts given on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day or split between the two. We actually have 12 days of Christmas. And Marty definitely gets a gift every day. And sometimes I get a gift on a day here and there, depending upon the budget. But that's how we do things around here. And that's the way I've done it since Marty was a child. And I even did this when I was an atheist. I celebrated the 12 days of Christmas because the wise men were not at the manger. Let me repeat that. If you see a manger scene and it's got the wise men at the manger scene with baby Jesus being born in the stable, that's not accurate. The wise men came later. And so we don't know how much later, but the liturgical way historically to celebrate Christmas was the Epiphany was set 12 days later, and that's when it was celebrated. Of course, we all know that Christmas isn't falling on the exact calendar date that Jesus was born. But these are the traditions of how we celebrate in the religiously significant way. Now, most people these days, they start celebrating Christmas at Thanksgiving. They got everybody together. They go ahead and decorate for Christmas at Thanksgiving. That's, that's not even 12 days. I have had Christmases in the past where I started decorating and celebrating on December 12th or 13th. So that it ended up being 12 days to Christmas Day or Christmas Eve, even. So that's why it was the 12th or the 13th. So, um, but that's not historically accurate, but in my humble opinion, it's more um, respectful to the holiday being about Jesus Christ. Because you are celebrating a 12-day celebration instead of it just being, this is about Santa Claus and the gifts. And people have been extending that further and further. I joked the other day about having a Nightmare Before Christmas tree. And lo and behold, the next day, there were some resellers that had Halloween trees. And you could actually do that if you are into celebrating your Christmas, as long as you can, and making it to the most material Christmas you can. You could get a Halloween tree and make it a Nightmare Before Christmas tree or just a regular Halloween tree, and then take the stuff off you don't want on there for Christmas, and then do a Christmas tree with the same tree, because there's only like 3 weeks between Halloween and Thanksgiving. And if you're a person that puts up your tree at Thanksgiving, why not just put it up at Halloween or the week before Halloween? I mean, it's just gotten out of control. But, I said that jokingly, but, I think there might be people that would embrace that kind of idea. Let me see if I can get more of this bubble wrap together. I think this is trash. There's not a lot I can do with that. I got another piece of paper down here. I'm surrounded by boxes, and some of them still have bubble wrap in them. I need to get everything out of these boxes and up. Let's look at this. It still has a label on it. I'm going to see if I can peel the label off of this. As I open this up like a pouch, oh, he put tape on top of the label. Can I find the end of the tape to get this label off? It's a beautiful metallic bubble wrap. And that tape goes that way. Okay, so that was not the end. He put tape over the tape to make sure the label didn't come off and that the ends of the original tape did not come up. This is very taped. Oh, okay, now that's tearing it. Well, I am just going to keep this pouch the way it is. The label's still on it. But I'm not going to use it to ship to anyone. I'm not going to share his address with anyone. And that's another thing. I believe in recycling and reusing, but I also believe in protecting people's privacy. So if you have something like this with a label on it, like if I would pass this bubble wrap along before I did that, I would go ahead and remove this label, or go ahead and maybe cut these things off to use this beautiful metallic paper or bubble mailer for wrapping a small piece of jewelry or something like that, and make a little pouch. But I would not pass the label along if I was to give my bubble wrap and stuff to somebody. Maybe I should go down to the flea market some weekend and find somebody down there that has an eBay store, or that, oh, I can use that, that mail stuff in addition to having their flea market booth. I know a couple people online that have in addition to their online business, they'll have an antique booth or eBay store, Mercari store, or something that they mail out. I mean, tons of people do that. Most of the people that do online auctions also have some kind of online presence or an antique booth. If you had an antique booth and you were just selling locally and you were packing up your customer stuff just to go home, you know, you can use these materials. So I've got to find somebody locally that can use this stuff. Okay, this bundle is all trash. Let's see. There's more bubble wrap in this box. And there's a note that some of you might recognize from a seller. So that's trash. And here's some like batten or something that was put in the box. And actually there's peanuts in this, and which is excellent for shipping. So get this tape off of this bubble wrap. Okay, I'm going to do that a little bit later. I'm going to take this bag and put peanuts in it. Okay. Now, let's go back to getting this tape off. And all of this is not from one reseller. This is from a week or 2 weeks worth of unboxings. Yes, struggle is real. So, okay, now we have this very long piece of tape. I'm going to stretch it out, and I'm going to set it on the edge of my table. And actually, there is a piece of tape on top of the piece of tape, so I'm going to peel that off. Now, adhesive is expensive, more expensive than it used to be as a commodity, and it's passed on when you buy tape. Okay, is it going to let go of me? Okay. Okay, now it's going to be stuck to the scissors, and that piece is too big to go across that top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this down the middle. Oh dear, there's, okay, let me get that piece of dirt off. Okay. So I'm going to use this tape that was just stuck to bubble wrap and wrap it around the top of this. And then this other piece that was below it, I'm going to cut it in half. And put across the top of this. Okay. So these wings are stuck out. And actually going to take a couple pieces of new tape and close those down. So this can be reused in shipping instead of just being thrown in the trash. All right, there we go. Find another bag. That batting can go in it. Okay, there's more bubble wrap over here. And it's got more tape on it. Now, there was a piece that I just wrapped up and folded up with the tape on it because, like right now, I don't currently have a use for the tape. And this person made these corners with the tape. So what I don't want is stuff like this sticking out. Now, if I was getting this ready to reuse, to ship something out, or somebody else was, you would want to take this tape part off and this little bit of torn piece, because you want your recycled materials to look professional and nice as much as possible. These bubbles are popped, so this has been reused. So I'm going to leave the tape on it and just fold it up. This is the kind of thing that you can put inside like a piece of glass or a cup to prevent it breaking, because if you don't put something inside your empty spaces, they can cave in. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to double this over because I don't have a use for it right now. It can be removed before it's used. And, you know, you actually can take that piece of tape off. After I would cut this off, like down there, and I might angle it to where, you know, slightly to where it just looks a little off, but it's not square. But, you know, there's that whole corner is torn on both sides. So, you know, you can still have bubble wrap this size. And once you wrap your item, you can use this piece of tape to secure it. And I'm not going to cut it right now. I'm just going to fold it. And I'm going to use my spider web hands down here. I'm becoming Wonder Woman. Hey, Wendy. How you doing? So this will be folded up. And I didn't fold over that piece of tape because I can fold it up. I can attach it to this part here. So to hold those folded. Come back over here to the green. Get this green folded up. Okay, so look, already doubled up once. It's two pieces. So this is my largest piece. Okay, here's a paper towel segment. This hanging out on my table that was never used. And here is a shopping bag that we got when we went to the pop-up market. I don't like to use grocery bags a lot. I think they can get ratty real quick. But this is going to be packed nice and neat. Or as neat as possible. It's going to be completely full. And put this batting in here too. Okay, I'm going to look around and see if there's anything else I can fold up and put in here. I can fold up this tissue paper. It's not, this piece has not been cut down like the other piece was. And I can fold this up, put this in here, and at minimum it could be used for stuffing. Because you can just wad stuff up and put it in the corner, especially if you've got glass in a box, because you don't want that stuff moving around. Okay, maybe I'll just lay that part on top. Now, I want to cover that paper up just a little bit, and then I still have half of that other piece of tape. And with this reused tape, I can put this together. It'll come unstuck from my finger. So it's not the neatest thing in the world, but it's full of paper, cotton batting, a little bit of paper, and 3 different kinds of bubble wrap. So now we have this bundle. I don't know if that would have fit down in there. We have this envelope, and we have this bubble envelope. Oh, and now I'm seeing more stuff on my table. But it's okay, because I am going to take this priority box. I like this paper on this thing. And I'm going to cut down this side. This is a shoebox size priority box. You'll see it in a minute. I'm going to take off the label from the shipper. And you can't remail priority boxes unless you ship them priority and they are in good enough condition. Now this box was bent up in the corner, so I don't think I would use this to ship anything out priority. Okay, I'll tape that on there. Okay, now he taped this in several corners, so sorry it's taking so long. Okay. Don't know if I could reuse any of that. But anyway, this box has been through the Flint mill already. It was Frankenboxed. So he put in a box inside a box to make this slightly taller to fit the merchandise, which is a wonderful idea. But it's been bent in the corner. And, you know, I don't know that I would reuse this box. So typically my priority boxes do go in the trash because I don't want there to be any chance somebody reusing them to not send something priority. And if you're sending something priority, see how it's split here? Usually you want to use a new box. So I'm going to set down this envelope in the bottom of this and press it against the side. And then I'm going to put this bag next to it. And do my best to get that all the way down into the bottom. And then I'm going to put this on top. And no, I'm not. Okay, this stuff is already too much for this shoebox. So I have to find a larger box. Well, there's a priority box over here that was Frankenboxed. Oh yes. Oh yes, oh yes. Now this has okay. This already has packing material in it. And I got I think 2 of these around here. So I'm going to take this material out because it's filling up the box as it is. And so what I'm going to do to get more stuff in here is I am going to flatten all of this paper. So I will let you all go at this point. You're probably thinking this has turned into Myra dealing with garbage. And we all need to deal with garbage. I mean, this stuff, this bubble wrap, this paper, all of this stuff, number one, costs money. And if you're a small reseller or small business, there's no reason not to use it. I use some of this stuff when I pack up my donations. Because, you know, you have to pack your donations, your glass, like it's being shipped. Because it goes on that big truck and there's people, some of the people that pick up the donations are young, muscly people that that don't think about a lot about how they're tossing stuff around. They just know that they're on this tight schedule and they're tired. Some of them get tired and weary, so they're not always careful. So stuff like this, like I said, it can be material that goes in the corner of a box of glass just to keep things from not moving around. And depending upon the situation, maybe it doesn't have to be so pretty. If you are selling on Mercari or Poshmark, definitely, you know, you're not going to use this. You might use some of the bubble wrap, but not anything like this or that white paper, the thicker white paper. Oh, that's a dryer sheet. That's a good idea. This came from a reseller that smokes. And this is a wonderful idea because I don't like to open a package and smell smoke. But again, here I am going on and on about recycling and reusing and things to do when you're packing stuff to resell. So again, you all have a wonderful and blessed day.